Hey guys, Brozan here. We're going to show what the UOAssist API was being used for EnhancedMapper today. So I'm going to do a rare thing and I'm going to show you my mapper. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll notice right up here is usually a blank spot on my screen, as well as over here in this corner here. That's because I keep what I call mapper in those spots. Now, I want to be clear, I've done mapper development for FS and for the Federation for the last 2 years. I am not the only person who's done this. GG has their own mapper, Mega has their own mapper, people like even smaller alliances have their own mapper. This was a condoned thing. The admins have many times said it's not an official tool, it's third party, but we don't mind you using it. They've been very clear to hedge their bets about it. What I want to show you though is how this really did give an advantage over, say, your normal player using the in-game map. I'm on test. We're just going to launch a boat right quick because it's the easiest way to show off some of these features. Let me hop on this. All right, so we've launched our boat. Now what I want you to do is pay attention over to this screen here. Very first thing I'm going to show off is what I call Tron lines. These are a thing that we took this suggestion from, I believe, the old COM mapper, not something that I made. But you can see it's showing where I've traveled. Now if I had multiple people in the mapper with me, I'm disconnected for security reasons. You guys don't need to see where they are. If I had multiple people in Mapper with me, you could see where they were traveling as well. Now we've got a lot of settings based on the Tron lines. Stop myself from moving here. We can show how many we store. We can change the color. We can only draw mine. We can draw everybody's. So that's one of the big features. One of the features that everybody's talking about missing is what's called a ping. This is just a little marker here. You can see it on mine. I've got a hotkey for it too. And this tells people that are in the map connected with me, hey, there might be a guy here. Or hey, this is where I'm going to travel. Pings are extremely useful for communication because on the ocean, we can't say going to level 3 gate or, calling out specifics on a dungeon location, going to the maze in Oz. So that's one of the reasons pings are going to be missed so much. Obviously, thinking through this, you go, hey, that's somebody's got a mapper. He's out farming. I'm 700 tiles away, and he goes, ping, ping, ping. I've got a guy here. And then everybody who's over here can start running over. It gives it an obvious unfair advantage. One of the next things that's super important is this alarm button. I am not going to push this right now because it's actually got a Discord webhook that alerts people who are offline that, hey, Roseanne's in trouble. Also in-game, when I push that, it makes my mapper, everybody else's mapper, flash red. It plays this god-awful sound file that's a pirate flute that's insanely loud. It's a very quick way of drawing attention to the fact that Roseanne's in a lot of trouble. Next big thing, I've got my spyglass circles. Spyglass circles are very configurable things. I can set the range on them. I'll bump the range on this one. And this is saying to my map, draw a box around Brozan that is exactly the range of his player spyglass. The second one is the range of my NPC spyglass. This is a quick visual way that I can look on my map and see exactly where I am spyglassing. Because, I'm pushing spyglass. I don't know that. So I hit my spyglass. Nothing's on the glass. I don't know there's an island to my north or northwest. So that's what the spyglass ranges are. Adding markers is super useful. That went off screen. Markers, add shared marker. I can add a marker here and say this is where the FS boss is. I'm going to send that. I'm not connected to the server, so I can't send it. But it would create a little marker. I can also add local markers that only I see. Death points, if I were to die, it puts a tombstone where I died. Let's talk about free view versus not. So I can move around the map. If I were connected to map, you would see other players as I'm moving around, and then I can lock it back to myself. Last signal jumps me to the last place that another player made a signal. So, I can clear my Tron lines if they're getting in my way. We've got users, we've got quick chat. So if I were to push this, it sends a quick chat message. Oh, this one's really neat. Check distance. I can push this button and let's go check distance here. It tells me over here exactly how far it is to drive there based on different boat speeds. So that's a fun one. Zoom, we can zoom the map in and out at different layers, flip, for those of you who like being weird. UO clients, this actually allows you to track which client you're active on if you're running multiple clients. We also have a function built into it that swaps clients automatically to the active client. Let's look at our settings here. A lot of these settings have been changed by me. They're not the base. So we get regular pirate sounds, draw lines for local markers. This one's not super important. Max names. So you can see I'm only showing 4 characters of my names. Monitor HP is kind of a neat one. Check this out. I'm going to set it to 65. Watch this. Yeah, that's not very fair, is it? Your HP is 37%. It gets louder too as you get more dead. You can hear at 50, it's that more. Now it's like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Yeah, that's kind of a big one. That's my script being a piece of shit. All right. Force pouring names. The original mapper had a bunch of ability to change your name color and crap. We turned that off. And then we had the spyglass circles. So that was kind of the important changes that we made. But I just want to be fully transparent that the admins are right. This gave an unfair advantage. I respect that it sucks losing it. Losing the communication tools is going to be hard. Losing the ability to, when you got like 10 people that are trying to coordinate something, you got a very small window where you could see people. Where's that stupid option at? Yeah, I don't remember where it is. Anyway, there you can't see but 18 tiles in each direction, There it is. This is my actual view of the ocean. And with in-game map, let's actually move this chat. I don't need it right now. We'll pull up our world map. With in-game map, I have very limited ability. Look at the difference in these. They look about the same, right? but I can't see what's around me here. I can't see my friends. My boat's obviously not rendering very well. And so that I can't ping what I was talking about earlier. Even if I'm in party with people, it's not going to show their names well on here. There's a lot of, and I'm not an expert on the in-game map, so I don't want to compare apples to apples. But there's a lot of communication stuff that's being lost. A super important thing is if I were connected to the server, I can chat in this box and it sends to system message down here in game. Plus, I've got my chat window that's specific to boaters. You know, I'm in a big alliance. We got a bunch of land people. I don't need 300 people knowing where I am on a boat, and I don't need to spam them on what's going on. Now, this one's replaceable by like, well, we could use Discord or ICQ or whatever, but it's a big deal because it's sent to the in-game client. Anyway, just showing off some of the features of Mapper. Personal feelings on this will be fine. I strongly suspect that PvP players are going to benefit more from this because a lot of times when you're sweeping, you're in voice anyway, and you're able to quickly communicate things. Some of the things that Mapper really provided, having that non-party quick communication that didn't require a translator, etc. I know one of the big things that a few of our foreign individuals, I say foreign, I'm from the US, our people non-US, non-English speakers are really concerned about is they don't have a way to quickly say there's a boat to the right of me or to the south of me. They've become reliant on being able to ping and use shortcuts and things like that to quickly communicate. So I think that the admins were right in getting this. There are a lot of things, especially with the HP tracking. I mean, if I hover myself here, I mean, you could see how well I'm not connected. Let me turn on some other stuff. Show hit stamina, man. I just see, you could see my health, and I could see that of anybody who's connected. There's a lot of things that were being shared that, I might see Brozone's health dropping to 30%. There was a lot of opportunity for real abuse here. We pulled the plug at, I specifically made a commitment when I started doing development on this that we would not do anything that you couldn't monitor on a piece of paper sitting next to you, or through Discord. And so, I don't mind being able to tell where I went. I could write down these coordinates. I don't mind being able to quickly communicate. I could do that in Discord. That was my line. There's a lot of automation that could have happened with this that very, very possible. Um, so anyway, that's that's EnhancedMapper. If you guys have questions about it, I'm not going to answer a lot of them. I'm sorry. This has been a passion project of mine for 2 years now. I've dumped hundreds of hours into this. I I am sad to see it go in that sense. At the same time, I completely agree with the admins that this is the right call to make. I do hope that, especially ping and fixing so that party shows up better. I really hope that they fix those. But I'm not going to be overly upset if they don't. I get the reasoning. So anyway, thanks guys for tuning in.